Flat Earther. She was like the Flat Earth reporter.
Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. Episode number 15. Episode number 68. Episode number 159.
Mark, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. I could not be more excited about being on this show right now.
We started talking on Skype, and we'd have these marathon conversations, 3 and 4 hours long, and we just talk.
What happened that day in Flat Earth? What had happened during that past week? Anything involving any sort of conspiracy. And then I said to him one day, why don't we just do a show? And I jokingly called them The Secret Show.
Where are you? She's late for everything. She's always late. 5 minutes. 5 of your...
Oh, there he is. Hello. Hey. All right, you ready to go?
Ready to go. Keep looking.
Don't save the best stuff for save the best stuff for the show. That's what I meant to say.
I know.
Hello and welcome to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. This is episode number 174. This is The Secret Show. I'm Patricia Steer and with me is Mark Sargent. Hello, Mark.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Did you get a chance to see the satellite that went down?
In Brazil.
Yes, I did see that. And,
Fascinating.
and it came down on a balloon.
And you say, how do satellites get up there? Balloons. And they laugh at you. It's like, okay, well, here's one. Me to you. Let's just talk. Just you and me, shall we?
Okay.
Let's bring it down.
Bring the lights down low.
Yeah.
When we started doing The Secret Show, and even before that, we had a lot of chemistry.
Within, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, she said, hey, thinking about coming down to Houston, visiting?
Since I was thinking about anyway moving to Seattle, which had nothing to do with him really, might as well go, check it out, and meet up with Mark to see if there's anything there. A go-see, as you might say.
She came up and we spent a weekend talking and comparing notes and just kind of getting to know each other.
It was really great. I want to go again. You start with the mail, and I'll go in live chat and see if anybody's actually listening to this show except us.
Something I think could have developed from that, to the point where we were kind of toying with the idea. She was thinking of buying in Seattle. I mean, she was seriously gearing up for this thing.
It ended up that I didn't end up moving there. Things happened in my life with another romantic relationship.
And then she moved to London for a year.
A few red flags I chose to ignore. Now in retrospect, I see that I should have not ignored them.
Something goes wrong and she turns around and hauls all her stuff, moves all her stuff back at an enormous expense. And her cats. You know how much it costs to transfer cats to another country? A lot. I know you love cats, but get different cats.
Bro Sanchez says, y'all make a good couple. Quit playing. LOL.
No. Well, look, there's a reason why we've done this show as many times as we have.
Exactly. We are a couple of friends. We do have love for each other. I mean, I can't really speak for him, but I do have love for him. I've told him this. It's a love I don't really quite understand. It's not like platonic love and it's not like romantic love. We're both in a cause together, and that is a kind of love.
Of course, the big news for today is the Flat Earth International Conference. The community has grown to such a size that not only are we having meetups on pretty much every given weekend in any major city, but now we're doing an international conference, which is in Raleigh, North Carolina in the fall. So I'm going to be doing the keynote speech on the first day. 90% of the Flat Earth community are in the closet. But now we're almost to that tipping point because now there's celebrity references and there's mainstream media references.
The sky is the limit. Probably literally.
Ah, I see what you did there.
When Mark said they were going to have his conference, and I thought, all right. And I said, how many are you expecting? Thinking that, 300. Well, shoot. They've already got, 1,000?
There's so many people that are excited. I mean, heck, the VIP thing sold out last night during my show.
I cannot believe how this thing has expanded. If there isn't something to be said for it, then why is it expanding the way it is?
Right.
Kyrie Irving, who plays for the Cavaliers, he recently said that he believes the world is flat. Is that a subject that you covered with him? Were you aware of that?
I wouldn't even know how to broach that topic.
Hey, AJ, do you want to talk about how you think the Earth is flat?
I do not think the world is flat. I'm just saying there's some stuff about it.
How do people actually believe the Earth is flat? I'm stumped, Kelly. I don't know how people believe that.
Round Earth or flat Earth?
Yeah.
Round Earth.
Oh, okay. You just drew a divide between us.
What is happening? Actually, no. Shaq goes the other way. Not debatable. It's flat. Kyrie, flat. Draymond, flat. What is going on in the world?
I often like to say that if you gave me 5 or 10 minutes with you, I can probably tease out some belief you have that your friends would think that that's a little bit strange. We tend to form the beliefs based on a couple things. One is our intuitions, just what feels right. Another is our subjective experience. For most of us who look out on the horizon, indeed, it looks flat.
That seems like a reasonable thing. And so you ask, okay, well, why are we saying that the Earth's round? If you don't have someone who's going to give you a satisfying answer, you might well then try to find alternatives.
It's what you can observe. You don't need complicated math formulas to figure out where you live. But the powers that should not be have told us so. And trust us, believe us. And we have. I did. We all did.
Something that you see a lot in science is imposter syndrome, which is a phenomenon where the more you know about a topic, the more you feel like you aren't actually an expert. You feel like you can't possibly be an authority on this. On the flip side, there's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is a psychological finding that people who don't have knowledge or expertise about something tend to have a false confidence that they are, in fact, very knowledgeable about something.
It becomes this tendency to assume that you have all the facts, that what you know is everything that there is to know.
If you get online, you'll see pages and pages of so-called evidence that seems scientific, right? Here's an equation, here's a diagram, and you go, maybe they're onto something there. Then I feel like that's just as good as an opinion of a physicist or a consensus of 20 physicists.
We've all been brainwashed by scientism, by those priests of a new religion.
Science is just the search for truth, right? Science is a way of thinking, starting at I don't know, then chipping away at the I don't know through evidence with no motive on where it takes you. And you come up with a new idea, and the first thing that's gonna happen is 10 people are gonna try to figure out why it's wrong. Okay, it's called institutional disconfirmation. So when you have conviction, it's really well earned. So to have a vendetta against that is a little odd.
Science should have wiped us out literally in the first month. And it's the exact opposite. We're not just winning, we're crushing them because they don't know how to address it. Because they're not convinced they can knock it out, they don't want to get into the ring. We've got questions out there which they can't answer.
How much time do you have to spend on every theory that is out there, right? And many times, the things that we are debating are not even theories, either because they're not falsifiable, or sometimes they've already been falsified.
Absolutely ludicrous what they're teaching. You can't feel any of the movement, and they think we go faster than a bullet through space.
I'd say take physics. I mean, that's just fundamental. I mean, if you're driving in a car and I throw a ball up and you go, where's the ball gonna come down? It's gonna come down in my hand. Okay, it's not gonna fly through the back windshield of my car.
So are there any scientists that are in flat Earth?
No, and they can't be. Once you get to a certain level of education, the education system more or less owns you. You're not allowed to do certain things. I mean, think of a teacher. Teachers have to get master's degrees.
Yeah.
So think of a normal educator if they came out and said that, no matter where they were.
Have you had any educators come out?
No.
No.
Are there any established professors, like from MIT, who are being swayed by the arguments of flat Earth?
That are willing to go on the record?
Well, I mean, there's always whistleblowers, there's always some people that...
There are, and even if you're a tenured professor, I mean, if you come out with something like that, you can get drunk right out of your business. So, I mean, obviously there's a very real risk to their livelihood. I work for Denver International Airport as a consultant. I work for several of the city governments. I'm a forensic consultant for the Denver Police Department. I do the town of Lyman's entire IT. There are physics students out there, there's astrophysics students, and they're all arriving at these same conclusions. How is it that they could possibly all be wrong? And my response to that was that they are putting things in a perspective that they've been taught. Nobody wants to admit that they've been fooled, but the reality is it's happened to every one of us.
Confirmation bias is one of the most solid empirical findings in psychology. If I have a belief or an attitude, I will search for instances